I think really it goes back some years, having attended some conferences, not only in the U.S. but internationally, that it's an international language, so a lot of countries are using it, and in particular there's an aspect of XBRL that is specific for internal purposes. It's called XBRL Global Ledger, and so companies can use it at the transactional level. And so there's a way of thinking, I think, about XBRL that's beyond the SEC mandate. So it's leveraging it at the consolidation level, at the transactional level, or for various external reporting purposes. So there's a way of, let's say you have environmental reports, Department of Labor reports. I know there's companies out there that are now using XBRL to help facilitate sort of reporting. So it's been it's kind of been on my personal radar for some time. One of the biggest things, the company made a decision to bring XBRL in-house. We did benefit from external, let's say outsourced or consultants from the outside, but our XBRL process is essentially totally handled in-house, which means the software is on our systems, and we are essentially simultaneously producing our quarterly and annual reports and at the same time tagging that information in XBRL so that we're not waiting to the end for the XBRL to happen. It's occurring as we're preparing. And I think there's a lot of advantages to doing that from a control standpoint, from a training standpoint, and also things happen so quickly that it gives us, I think, an advantage to head things off at the pass. In other words, if there's a new disclosure, if there's an acquisition, that we're aware of that and we can sort of handle that sort of immediately on the fly. I think one of the biggest things, and how to quantify it is, there has been an advantage because we're doing things at the same time rather than sort of linearly. We're doing things more or less simultaneously. I think it's a long-term trajectory of how can we start to push the XBRL technology sort of down into the organization. We are a very decentralized global organization, so there are opportunities of how can you leverage XBRL across disparate systems. As I mentioned, there are other companies, and we are sort of attuned to how can we use some of that tag data to feed other reports that are already required. And I think just the interesting applications that'll come down in the future. A big concern of US-based companies is obviously just meeting the SEC mandate, but pushing it beyond what are the types of data that the analyst community is really looking for, and some of that is non-financial data, which can all be captured or represented by XBRL. So it's XBRL is part of a solution, and you have to kind of weigh the costs and benefits of using that as part of your solution.